All right, let's start. Good morning, everyone. We are studying English, and today we'll study the Hive book. And in that, what will we study? We'll study poem 8 on Killing a Tree by Give Patel. Right? This is a poem basically, which is very nice, in which the poet has used his sensitiveness. Sensitiveness means like we cut the trees because of increasing population every time, or make homes, or like buildings, or like factories, or so many things. Ultimately, we cut the trees. So this poet is a bit sensible, or like having some sort of emotional feelings. So poet tells us like the cutting of tree you are applying is not the way you are cutting the tree. Actually, he is showing his emotions, feelings, basically sharing with us through this poem. So let's see what he says. You must have observed people cutting down trees. Like a poet is saying to us, like, you must have seen people, almost every one of us. We have seen like how the tree is cut. But can they kill a tree? Is it possible that the one who's cutting tree, they're killing the tree actually? Killing is something else and cutting is something else, according to the poet. Is it easy to do so? And is it easy that if the one is cutting tree and that's just killing the tree? Let's read the poem and find out what the poet says on killing a tree. That's very important that we need to see how it is basically. Let's read the poem and find out what the poet says on killing a tree. So let's just read first stanza, students. I hope that you understand. It takes much time to kill a tree. In the first stanza, poet says that it takes too much time to kill a tree. How it is basically, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous height, sprouting leaves. So now see what we get here. The poet says it takes much time to kill a tree. Too much time it takes. It's not possible, like not a simple jab. Underline the word jab, students. This word you need to underline. Underline the word jab. Jab means here sudden rough blow. Rough blow of an like axe or a sort of knife, with the help of which we just chop or hack the tree. That means like we cut the tree, not a simple jab. What is saying, like simple jab is not there to kill the tree of the knife or axe. Will do it. That's not possible. With a simple knife or jab, you can cut, or axe, you can cut the tree, you can kill the tree. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth. What is poet saying here? This poet is expressing his emotions like it has grown slowly, gradually, basically. It has taken too much time to grow. You must have seen the trees. They take too much time when they grow. When you just plant a tree, our neem or any sort of tree, you see how much time this takes. It takes years to grow, to rise, rising out of it, right? Too many years it is taken, right? So it's not possible, according to poet, that you kill a tree with a simple jab, right? Rising out of it, feeding upon its crust. Now you need to see what is this crust, the word feeding upon its crust. Feeding upon its crust. Crust means the hard outer part or skin of the tree. Outer part or skin of the tree is called crust here. How it is rising out of it when it comes out of the earth. The tree, when it comes out of the earth, while feeding, means eating or having upon its crust with the outer part of it, like absorbing years of sunlight. Outer part of it absorbs the years of sunlight, You see, sun is shining outside, and its shiningness is absorbed, taken inside by the crust of the tree, air, water, and out of its leprous hide. Leprous, students, like its skin, colored bark. You have seen the trees and the bark outside. That's called leprous hide, colored bark. Basically, it is given here discolored, means it doesn't have any sort of color. Then what we get there, when it doesn't have any sort of color, that's called discolored bark, right? Leprous hide. Sprouting leaves. Sprouting means growing. One, you need to underline this first. Leprous hide. The next one is sprouting leaves. Leprous hide refers to like a discolored bark. You have seen the trees, its bark is very discolored, not colored basically. So when it comes out, it takes many years of sunlight, air, water, and sprouting leaves. And when the leaves come out of it, growing, sprouting means like growing, the leaves, small twigs are there, or like small leaves are there. When these come out, it takes years to come out of the earth. So it's not that much possible that you use a small simple jab of a knife and you would kill the tree. That's not possible. The poet is expressing, for killing a tree you have to do something else, you have to do something different criteria you need to apply on this, right? So let's go to the next stanza. So hack and chop. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, when if unchecked will expand again to former size. I suppose you understand what does it mean by poet. So hack and chop. Hack and chop means like when you're cutting it roughly, right? When you cut it roughly, if see any tree is there nearby you and you need sort of wood to cut, hack and chop. Hack and chop refers to like cut roughly by striking heavy blows of axe or like the knives or something else. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. This alone means if you are hacking or chopping, this won't alone will not kill the tree. It is not possible with the help of this only you can kill the tree. Not so much pain will do it, or if you are just hitting again and again, the pain will be there in the tree that will also not kill the tree. It's not possible to kill the tree. Poet is ultimately expressing his like emotions. The bleeding bark will heal. Now, bleeding bark. Bleeding, the this is students, it's a metaphor basically. When we talk about the literary devices used in the poem, there I will tell you about this bleeding bark. Bleeding bark is a, when you cut a tree, some sort of water comes. That's called sap. Type of water comes from the like a cutting tree, and that is compared with the blood of the human being, right? The bark is there is the skin of the tree, right? And bleeding refers to that sap. SAP. Sap is like a type of water that comes from the tree when it is cut, right? The poet is saying will heal, that will recover, that will recover the bleeding bark, and from close to the ground. From close to the ground means like from the ground basically. Ground, this will heal automatically and will rise curled green twigs. Curled green twigs means very small twigs, very small, जो टहनियां जिनको हम लोग बोलते हैं, we call them twigs. छोटी छोटी जो टहनियां होती हैं, the small twigs starts growing, miniature boughs, very small branches of it basically. These start growing, and when these start growing, the tree will grow again and will get in its real shape, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. If we don't check this for the next few years, this will again expand to the former size, the previous size it was having before cutting, after a few years, this will be in the same size, right, everyone? So it can heal, it can recover, and then it can come in the former size. Ultimately, just cutting a tree by an axe or a knife is not possible that you'll cut it or you'll kill it. This can grow it again. Let's go to the next. What it says, no, the root is to be pulled out. Now you see, the poet is giving complete example like how to kill a tree. When you want to kill a tree, you'll have to pull out of the anchoring earth. It is to be robbed, tied, and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. Now, what we understand here, poet is giving us a sort of example like how should we kill a tree, giving us the basic things like if you want to kill the tree, you should kill it like this. No means you cannot do this like this. You have to do the things I'm going to discuss with you now. What he says, the root is to be pulled out. The root means the base, जड़ जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं, जो जड़ें होती है ना ट्री, these are called root. The root is to be pulled out. जो जड़ें होती है उनको बाहर निकालना पड़ेगा, out of the anchoring earth. Anchoring earth refers to like trees are held securely with the help of the root of in the earth. When it is in the root, anchoring earth refers to like from the very deep. When the tree is grown, its roots go down in the deep earth. These are to be taken out. These are to be got out, to be pulled out. उनको बाहर निकालना पड़ेगा. It is to be roped. उनको जो रस्सियों से बांधना पड़ेगा. This is to be roped means you need to take a sort of rope. Because of this, you need to tie. You need to tie the ropes with the roots and pulled out, snapped out. और उसको जोर से जो है बाहर निकालना पड़ेगा, खींचना पड़ेगा. Or pulled out. When you pull it out, what it shows, or pulled out entirely refers to it like every nick and corner from the very small part of the root that is to be pulled out. उसको बाहर निकालना पड़ेगा. जड़ को बाहर निकाले बगैर it's not possible that you can kill the tree. Out from the earth cave refers to like the deep part of the earth, because the root goes in the deep part of the earth. Unless you take it out, you are not able to kill the tree, and the strength of the tree exposed, and now it comes out. You see, it is the strength of the tree which comes out, and that's exposed. You must have seen when the root is taken out, pulled out of the tree, how it looks. It's very big, right? It is covered with the earth, soil inside the earth, and that goes very deep. The source comes out is white. You must have seen that's white and wet. गीला भी होता है और सफेद भी होता है. It's all wet. The most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. And this is the foundation of the tree, which was very strong but sensitive. It was hidden in the earth cave for many years inside the earth. Now, if you pull it out, as it comes out, because that's very sensitive, it's very sensitive, like as it comes out, then the matter scorching and choking in the sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. What do we get here, students? We get here like when it comes out of the earth cave, it feels, because it's very sensitive. You must have seen the root of the trees, it's white and wet. When it comes out and sunshine is there, scorching and choking is there. Scorching होती है और choking होती है, refers to like dry कर जाती है, or it's uprooted, means it comes out of the earth, so choke कर जाती है. In sun and air, when the sun and air falls on it, it scorch and choke, dry कर जाती है. ब्राउनिंग, बिल्कुल ब्राउन हो जाती है, हार्ड हो जाती है. हार्डनिंग मीन्स it becomes hard. Twisting and withering. Withering means murjha jana, and then it is done. When you do this completely, when you uproot its root entirely, then you can claim that you can kill the tree. Otherwise, it's not possible. Any one of you, the one who's cutting the tree, has killed the tree. That can regrow, that can come in the former size of it, basically. So ultimately, students, poet is expressing his anger, his emotional feelings that we shouldn't cut the tree. If we are cutting the tree, we are giving so many troubles to this universe. He expressed his angerness. When you want to cut the tree, you're killing the tree, you should follow these tactics. This is completely angerness of the poet, students expressing here. Right, everyone? So let's just see the poetic devices. First point, rhyming scheme. Well, students, this is written, this is not written in the rhymes. It is not written in the rhymes. No rhyme is there, basically. You need to see no rhyme is there. No. No rhyme is there. It is written in the free words. I suppose you understand. Free words, no rhyming is there. If you see any word, basically, you won't get it. Right? Free words, it is written. Let's go to the next one. Next one is poetic devices. Ultimately, we need not see the, like it is written in the rhyming scheme. We need to see it is written in the free words. Now we need to see the poetic devices used in the poem. Let's go to first stanza. First stanza, if you talk about, let's talk about complete poem. Enjambment is there in the poem. Note it down, students. Enjambment. Enjambment is written. Enjambment is what? You have already done in the previous poems also. This is what I'm just telling you. This is, you can mention this in your, sorry, in your previous poems you have written enjambment. Enjambment is what? When the poem finishes without full stop or comma. You see, when you see first line in the first stanza, there is a comma. But when you go to the second line doesn't end. It goes directly to the third line. And then in the fourth line, it is comma. Again, you go to the fifth line, it goes to the sixth line. There is no comma, no full stop. Then it goes to the sixth line, it is comma there. So see, students, what do you need to see? When the line ends without full stop or comma, and then we go to the next line without putting full stop or comma, that's called enjambment, right? So in the entire poem, enjambment is used. So many, all the stanzas you can see, right? All the stanzas you will find. Enjambment is in the entire poem, right, everyone? So let's go to the next. What you get in the next stanza is metaphor is used here. Metaphor, how it is used, metaphor. Now it is in the first stanza. You see metaphor is used. I'm unable to write, though I will just speak up. You can write it yourselves. Metaphor. Metaphor is in the leprous hide. In the first stanza, this is the word here, leprous hide. Leprous means like hide, that's given in the sense of like skin, discolored bark. That's compared with the skin, and human beings have got the skin. So it is compared, indirect comparison is there, not direct comparison. So when we have indirect comparison, that's called metaphor, right, everyone? So you have got enjambment first. The next one is metaphor in the first stanza. And let's go to second one. Second stanza, alliteration is used, students. Alliteration. You just write it down, everyone. Alliteration, poetic device is used in the second stanza. Alliteration as well as metaphor. Both are used in the second stanza. Now see the third line. Bleeding bark, burr. Alliteration is like the first letter sound of the word is repeated. Bleeding bark. That's given alliteration. So alliteration is there. And metaphor, how that bark is bleeding. Who bleeds? Only the living things. When it gives sap, a sort of water comes when the tree is cut. That's compared with tree. The blood is like human beings. It is compared with the human beings. The bark, sap, or the water, that's compared with the human beings. So it is metaphor, indirect comparison there, not a direct comparison. If it is with direct comparison, like and as, then it becomes simile. But it is not there. It is metaphor now, right, everyone? So we have got two poetic devices in the second stanza, and in the third stanza we have with us alliteration. Where is alliteration out? You need to find out. In the alliteration is given here in the this. Let me just highlight so that you can see. This is white and wet. Alliteration is there. White and wet. Verse sound is repeated. That is consonant basically. So it gives the sense like this stanza has got alliteration and it has repetition. Repetition how? Repetition is used. Second, repetition means pulled out, snapped out, pulled out. Repetition means when we put more emphasis on the sentence to make our sense a meaning clear, we put more stress, give more emphasis, that becomes repetition of the sentences or the words. Or you can see in the next also, pulled out, it is here. So repetition poetic device is used here in third stanza also. Right, everyone? So the fourth one is not this stanza, this is a simple part of the third one. So these poetic devices have been used in the poem. I suppose that every one of you has understood it clearly. If any one of you has got any sort of doubt, any sort of problem, you can raise your hand. I'll be there to help you out. If anything is just disturbing you, otherwise you'll get the question answers of this poem today and you need to complete in your notebook, everyone. Any one of you, whoever wants to ask any question, I'm there to help you. You can raise your hand. Otherwise, students, this was very simple poem. Thank you very much for joining today's class. Bye-bye.